Hey, what's going on, everyone? This is your boy, the Bengal Dragon. Make sure to hit that like, subscribe, and bell notification buttons, as all your support really helps this legally blind YouTuber remain motivated to continue making a variety of different type of videos in this channel, and through the YouTube algorithm would really help this channel grow. Now, if you've followed me recently on my live streams, you would know that I very recently completed Fallout New Vegas, siding with Mr. House. And if I have not made this clear already, I think that Fallout New Vegas is one of the best games ever made. I won't say the best game ever made, but absolutely, even for the PS3 and the X360 era, it pushed almost every limit possible in terms of the size, magnitude, and content of the game, as well as the brilliant writing from time to time. Alright, and the fact that they got this done in, I believe, under 2 years from the release of Fallout 3 goes to show you how good Fallout New Vegas actually is. It's to the point where a lot of people are very angry at Fallout 4 for not incorporating elements from Fallout New Vegas into Fallout 4. And yes, to an extent, I do agree with them. And yes, going back to some of the antics of Fallout 3 instead of Fallout New Vegas while making Fallout 4 is a bad thing in my opinion. But still, I still think Fallout 4 is still a good game. But enough about that. Today I'm going to talk about why I feel, given the circumstances and given the choices presented to you, Mr. House is the best choice for New Vegas, and not fully the Mojave, but essentially for the game. And by the way, the footage you're seeing here is basically gameplay footage from my last live stream of Fallout New Vegas. As basically, I use all my legally blind live streams to demonstrate how a legally blind person such as myself would attempt to play the game. But getting back to the topic, let me first explain briefly why Caesar's Legion, Independent Vegas, and NCR are not good choices in my opinion. Caesar's Legion, in a nutshell, they're trying to go up against other factions who are better armed, who mostly have better health care for their troops, and better war strategies for the Legion. The Legion is mostly known for bravery, valor, and honor, and etc. etc. Basically, Cassandra Moore put it very well. They will charge a fortified position with nothing more than a pointy stick. Discipline and loyalty in this regard, in war strategy, is worthless if it is impractical. One of the best examples of this is if Legate Lanius becomes the new Caesar and the remnants live. Legate Lanius keeps sending troops to pursue the remnants, and the troops keep dying. And the remnants are basically 5 or 6 people who used one vertibird. One! As for a moral front, this is not a video about that, so I would refer you to Oxhorn's video about why the Legion is doomed to fail. Independent Vegas. This is the second worst ending. Independent Vegas is basically a leaderless Vegas. The followers of the Apocalypse slide, where they say that Independent Vegas is even more anarchic than what it used to be, is a clear sign of the importance and the necessity of leadership within Vegas, and also goes to show you why anarchy is never the solution. Speaking of leadership, we now address the NCR. Here's my biggest problem with the NCR. What have they done? They just occupy territory and govern it like a police force. And once this safety exists, they build roads and also put taxes on those roads and allow the traders to do their trade, make money, and thus the old world capitalism comes back. And along with the occasional refugee camp charity. Not Bitter Springs. Bitter Springs is something the NCR did. Yes, the Great Khans goaded them into it, but the NCR didn't have to kill women and children who were trying to escape. Listen, if it were only the Great Khans who were trying to file out and get killed instead of women and children, Boone would be very happy and he would not be this cynical and melancholy. But back to the NCR. You see this police force, you see this road building and whatnot. But there is no further direction. All you see from the NCR basically is expansion and more food and more money to gain the resources or influence to get more land, to grow more food, to get more money. Even when it comes to power, NCR at times will even occupy a power station regardless of whether or not another faction is occupying it, such as Helios 1. I mean, they repaired Hoover Dam. How much power do they need? But my biggest issue with NCR is that as a whole, they have no collective ambition. Apart from expansion, what does the NCR have planned for the future? Nothing that I have come across. Which brings me to Mr. House. Mr. House is what I would like to describe as a practical or pragmatic autocrat. An autocrat, by all means, is essentially immortal or has created a mechanism that significantly slows down his aging. I mean, if 200 years couldn't kill him, then he'll be fine. Mr. House is the only one who has a post-victory, well-set plan to use revenue to rebuild industry, such as the high-tech sector, a sector that creates jobs, a sector that solves problems for other people. I saw this video about progress for who and all this nonsense, and believe me, it's one of the most frustrating word salad pretending to be intelligent videos that I have seen. People, I'm about to get my 4th academic degree. Okay, a PhD. I have 2 masters and a bachelor's with honors. I never talk down to people specifically using word salad techniques. I emphasize more on communication efficiency rather than linguistic pageantry. But getting back to Mr. House, he wants to build the high-tech sector to solve his own tech problems, to lead in tech innovation for himself. He needs an entire industry for that, a sector that will create jobs for himself. He says his ambition is also to have his colony ships go to other planets. Colony ships with only him and a few Securitrons in it? Of course not. And this plan, knowledge, resources, and a direction for overall progress is why I support Mr. House. And if you must know, is also why I support the Institute in Fallout 4, but only with the Minutemen alive. Notice I said overall progress, not just medical progress and agricultural progress, like you see with the followers, or energy weapon concerns like the Brotherhood of Steel. And speaking of the Brotherhood of Steel, I feel Mr. House made the right call by asking for their elimination. Listen, the Brotherhood of Steel is fundamentally and ideologically opposed to everything Mr. House can do, because he has to do it using Securitrons and technology. Technology that the Brotherhood does not want anyone else to have. The problem with the Brotherhood is that they mostly hoard technology and rarely ever put a primary effort to developing new tech, unless it furthers the Brotherhood's operations in some way. This is why the Capital Wasteland Brotherhood chapter is shunned by even some Capital Wasteland Brotherhood members. But back to House. Mr. House is pragmatic. Yes, he punishes the Kings for backing NCR if the Kings and the NCR have a truce. But if the Kings go against the NCR, and by the way, I have seen this ending slide, Mr. House rewards them by letting them stay there despite the Securitrons roaming freeside. Heck, if NCR takes over Prim and NCR loses and Mr. House wins, Mr. House turns Prim also into an opportunity for profit. He leaves the boomers alone. He does not pursue the remnants. He doesn't pursue NCR into California. He knows that there is more to revenue than gambling, but right now his greatest means of generating revenue is gambling at the moment. And the first thing he wants to do after winning is fix the monorail for better efficiency to improve the efficiency and profitability of that one source of revenue that he already has at the moment. Heck, he even says he might even commercialize his life support technology one day. And here's the thing, Mr. House isn't explicitly stopping people from helping others. Mr. House clearly says he does not want to legislate what people do with their free time or their personal lives. Mr. House does not chase away the followers. He does not rule over the entire Mojave. And in terms of bad things, that is the main bad thing about Mr. House. He does not do enough for others. And he will only do something if there is some benefit to him. Even the NCR Correctional Facility. Folks, even the Legion takes over the NCR Correctional Facility and stops the powder gangers from raiding caravans. So in this regard, even the Legion is better than Mr. House. Sure, Mr. House kills the Fiends through Securitrons, but the Fiends are only attacking Camp McCarran. And Mr. House sees something for himself in that airport. He most likely has some plans to use that airport to expand his profit margins. Mr. House doesn't go to Novak and help those people, does not go to Boulder City and help the situation there, or try to reestablish anything. But still, the reason I side with Mr. House is because of the scientific knowledge and expertise that he has. Ideally, you would have a situation where the NCR and Mr. House both coexist side by side. But we don't have that option in this game, and the House ending is the closest thing we can get to it. And it's not like Mr. House did not ever try to plan a successor. I mean, he did say at one point he thought Benny was that man, but he was wrong. So we know that Mr. House is still human enough and he can make human error of judgment. But like I said, Mr. House isn't really stopping anyone from helping themselves or helping other people, as long as they don't get in the way of his ambition. An ambition that, albeit selfish, in the long run does include the involvement of other people. Now, some of you may bring up points that Oxhorn brought up. And no, this is not me taking a shot at Oxhorn. I love the guy's content and for the most part, how thorough he is with most of his Fallout stuff. But I will have to say where I disagree, like I did in my Fallout 4 video where I explained why I side with the Institute. First, he says that Mr. House is just one man. To that I say, so Mr. House is one man with the scientific knowledge and resources to make scientific progress happen. Scientific progress that is meant to ultimately benefit other humans, whether directly or indirectly. And I know Oxhorn brought up human nature. Let me remind people that very smart people is not a common occurrence within human society. This is why you have something called an average IQ. The thing about the Kings, I already mentioned. If the Kings go against the NCR, then Mr. House lets them stay. Next, about Freeside. Mr. House's efforts stopped 68 out of 77 missiles with nuclear warheads on them. Do you really think Freeside would be in that state if it got hit by a nuclear missile? No! So the missiles that were deactivated or destroyed also saved Freeside at that point. The state of Freeside that you see now is mostly due to disrepair and lack of maintenance. I mean, the place can still receive electricity from Helios 1. So yeah, thank you, Mr. House. About Hoover Dam. Hoover Dam was never hit by a missile, and given how big a target Hoover Dam is and also how important it is, one can assume that Mr. House's efforts also stopped a missile from destroying Hoover Dam. The NCR came along and simply repaired what needed to be repaired as a result of neglect and lack of maintenance. About the exorbitant prices Mr. House will charge for water and electricity to the NCR from Hoover Dam. Here's the thing. Was the NCR starving for power and water before coming to the Mojave? No, they weren't. And Mr. House knows this. So if the NCR does not get power or water from Hoover Dam, they'll be fine. The Vault 21 thing, yes, I agree with Oxorn on that one. The vault was already there. It already had protection against anything that the opposition can throw at it. And Mr. House needlessly changed it into an avenue for profit. An avenue he does not need, considering how cheap everything is in Vault 21. So you would think their profit margins are not that big. But is that reason enough to do the alternative? As in, remove Mr. House, thereby removing all the knowledge, technology, and resources and plans he had for making scientific progress? Of course not. Yes, Mr. House is selfish, and yes, he prioritizes progress over humanity. But despite that, people, he is too valuable an asset for the Mojave and Vegas to lose. Losing him would mean losing a visionary with that knowledge. Mr. House basically said he is an autocrat who would not answer to a board of directors. Basically, a singular decision maker without the inefficiency of the presence of several decision makers. Mr. House feels that inefficiency impedes progress. And he has said repeatedly he is all about progress. And we see some resemblances of this in the real world. A lot of elected governments will not usually discuss foreign policy matters with their own civilian population before setting those policies. This is because most of the civilian population does not have the required sufficient knowledge to make the best foreign policy decision in the current circumstances. In a similar way, Mr. House has presented himself as a singular entity with such scientific knowledge and business acumen and an overall economic plan for long-term progress. And yes, he does say that his own judgment would stop him from abusing the power he has. By that, he basically means he does not see the benefit to him if he goes around telling other people what they should do in their personal lives. All he sees is progress, and ironically, progress at the cost of some of his humanity for the eventual long-term benefit of humanity. So anyways, that's my quick take on why I feel Mr. House is the best choice in New Vegas. Let me know your comments in the comment section below. And as always, hit that like, subscribe, bell notification buttons. It's your boy, the Bengal Dragon, signing out.